Okay, now we'll study the BMS third phase, third chapter, and fourth topic in that, research types. The research type can be classified into observational and interventional based on the health issues, the study on the health problems based on the approach to take on the study on health problem. If patient is suffering from specific disease, to study about what are the problem the patient is facing based on the approach to take on the study. In this way we can classify it into two types. One is the only observation. It means that one is only the researcher can do only observation, and intervention means the second one is the researcher involves in the study and interchange the something and see the result. This is the interventional study. Now first of all we will study the introduction. In that, the research can be broadly classified into observational study and interventional study based on the approach taken to study health problem. Based on the health problem, the research can broadly classified into only observational as well as the second one is the interventional. The observational research involves monitoring without changing the participant conditions. It means the researcher only he should observe the condition without changing anything, the changing participant condition. Second one, the interventional study. In this involves actively applying the treatment to measure its effect. What it means that whenever observational means simply we have to observe, and interventional it means that changing something dose. Suppose the new painkiller you discovered, in that the mg you decided, if the result is not sufficient you can increase the mg, or something that you can change the something involved in the research. This is called as a interventional research. The researcher involved in the study, this is called interventional study, involves the actively applying the treatment to measure the effect and understand these types of essential to design appropriate medical studies. To understand, this is the one of the preparing for the research designs. Now one by one we will study what is observational research. The first thing, the definition: research in which investigator observe and record the information without changing the anything in the participant routine or environment. It means the observational research or observational study is that without changing anything, the investigator observe only and record it. Okay, what is going on, that is record the information without changing anything in the participant routine and environment. This is the definition of observational research, and the key features are there. No researcher controlled intervention. It means that the research is not at all changing anything, just only the researcher observe, studies natural difference and exposure. What is the natural changes are there, what are the natural things are going on, that only observe and record only. That is the key feature here. The next thing is used to find the association and trends. What is the trends are going on, what are the associations are there, that the researcher observe and write down it. This is the key feature present in the observational research. Now what are the types? The very common types are cohort study, case control study, and cross-sectional study. Cohort study, it means that observing in the particular one groups. You can take example, the in particular one area, the comparing the cancer, the lung cancer, smokers and non-smokers. You can study for example, for 15 or 20 years you observe observe the patients or observe the peoples, those comparing to the smokers and non-smokers. Like this type of observation is coming under the cohort study. Okay, detail we will study in the next classes. And case control study, in the one case control particular case we will study, that is case control study. Cross-sectional study, we are interchanging the our interventional drugs and we are doing study. This is the cross-sectional survey. Now, what is the advantages of this observational study? It is ethical because the researcher is not at all doing anything. Just why it is one of the ethical and easy to conduct the study. And next, reflect the real life conditions. While we are recording, this is the as it is, how it is there, as it is we are recording. That's why it's reflect the real life condition and useful for the studying the rare exposure. What is the exposure there? That we are that is we are recording. Disadvantage of this observational study: cannot prove the cause and effect. It means that suppose the cancer it is there, we cannot tell that this is the cause and this is the effect. Because of this cause, the result is this. We cannot tell by this observational research. They cannot prove the cause and effect with certainty. Possible confounding factors and bias. It may be the adverse effect are there, disadvantages are there. Chances are the bias. One-sided result, maybe chances are there in this study. Example, we can take the observing the rates of the anemia in pregnant women who are vegetarian versus non-vegetarian without changing their diet. In this, the observer or the researcher only observe the anemia condition in the vegetarian women and non-vegetarian. Just we are observing. This is the one of the very good example in the observational study. The second one is the interventional research. Interventional means the researcher involved in the research and changing something. This is the intervention. In the observational, just observing the things without touching anything. The interventional is the investigator involved in the study, just changing the something. That is the interventional study. Research in which the investigator actually introduce the treatment. While giving the treatment, he is actually introduce the treatment or intervention to study and effect. Why? Because what is the cause and effect for comparing? That's why regularly he is changing the interventional drug dosage or something like that. This is the interventional research. Key factors: researcher assign the intervention. Researcher only assign this one. Next one, often uses control and randomizations. Next one, test the cause effect relation. This is the very good research. In that, the cause, we can tell that this is the cause and that's why this is the causative factor. Due to that, this is the effect. By this interventional study, we can tell test and cause effect relationship we can prove by using this interventional research. Types here: the randomized control trial, RCTs, and non-randomized trials are there. Advantages of interventional study is can establish the causality and control the condition, reduce the bias. By using this interventional, we can reduce one-sided result, that is a bias, and can measure safety and effectiveness by this intervention. Now the disadvantages: expensive and time consuming, because the intervention regularly involved. That's why expensive and time consuming. May have ethical limitations because the researcher is doing some things or giving some medicine. That's why it may ethical limitations are there. Sometimes not fully generalizable. You cannot tell that this is generalizable because of intervention. Example, if you are taking two groups, one is the control group or standard groups with the treatment groups, giving one group of patient a new pain relief medicines or analgesic and comparing the pain level group of the standard treatment. Suppose one standard group, two groups you have taken, two group of patient, 10 or 40 patients you have taken. For one patient you are given the standard drug, you are comparing with the new drugs that we are comparing in the interventional study. This is the comparing. Now we are observing that what is the result. This is the interventional study. Hope you understood. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.